So I had the chance to co-found a company right before I joined the course, which was super helpful. The timing was actually perfect because doing both at the same time was manageable from time boxing perspective. But also what I learned during the course was super helpful when it comes to setting up this company and to go in the right direction and making the right next steps. I then had the chance, even during the course in the last year, to join E.ON as an innovation consultant. E.ON, which is a corporate from the energy industry, not a quite creative industry, you would say. It's a super large company with over 140,000 employees all around the world. What I learned and what was super surprising was that the skill set that we got during the course was highly applicable in this, I would say, non-creative context, because as an innovation consultant, basically, we were told to explore new business opportunities, to craft new ventures, to detect probable companies to buy, and building a venture, building a company, designing a value proposition is a highly creative process. So everything we learned during the course was super valuable, and it was super interesting to see that even in a non-creative environment, the creative skill set was highly useful. I never applied for a job actually. I was asked by both of the companies that I worked for to join them. So it was quite an interesting experience that those companies are really actively looking for profiles with that skill set. That was the first really interesting experience. What is the most important thing that I learned or that I applied during my jobs? I would say, like I mentioned, the creative process requires, on a methodological point of view, but also from a mindset point of view, a lot of the things that come basically from the creative industries. Both on the methodological part and the mindset part, I was able to basically make use of what I learned in my daily work. We are living in crazy times, so like you said, if I'm looking left and right, I can say and confirm that the pay is pretty good. Yeah. For my jobs, I always was asked from my employer to bring a highly entrepreneurship mindset into our daily doing. So basically, it was like a circle that closed. Founding a company, being an employer that matched perfectly in my case, because what I was asked to do there was highly related to my tasks as a founder. I'm not sure if it's the case for all the jobs, but what I can say is that the course definitely gives you the skill set and the ability to also detect jobs, industries, and employments that are highly matching with what you want to do. I think a lot of people have the fear or the concern that they fall in a hole after the studies without having an option or without having a perspective, and this is definitely not the case. So what I can say is not only that the profiles that are built within the studies are highly asked, but also you get the ability and learn a lot about yourself to be able to find jobs and employments that match your skill set and that also match your interest. And this was super, super important to me. It was super interesting to see that even in a full digital and detached context with distance learning, the students were able to, I would say, catch fire. So they were super interested in the topics. They were asking a lot of super interesting questions. And I think that their interest in founding their own companies was arose, and this was super nice to see. So I think that even in this hard times, the value proposition of the course is definitely there. This was super cool to observe. What did I learn? I mean, I learned a lot from the students too. This is the second thing that I would say. It's not a one direction teaching, not at all. It's playing ping pong basically. So it was a quite international group where people from India, from Brazil, from the US, and it was super nice to see what those people did in the past and how their backgrounds were influencing the course itself. So I was basically re-planning every session based on the questions, based on the interests, based on the input of the students, and I think that worked pretty well. The biggest learning for me was that a CCI mindset is highly needed and asked also from, I would say, stakeholders, industries, corporates outside of the creative industries. I would drop this thought of being limited to a certain industry vertical. This is not the case. The world is open and asking for everybody who has this skill set. And this was super nice and super cool to see.